my beautiful eye candy family. I am your one and your only Lady of Lenses, Lady Simone. I am super excited to come to you today with another video. So this is a different type of video, but we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk to each other, and we are going to try on some of my favorite frames. Now, the thing is with this video, all the frames are the same. So I have like a mini collection because I really loved how these frames look when I ordered them the first time. So I had to double back, then go back again. So I got them, and I can honestly say I don't have them in all the colors, but I do have 5 different colors of these frames. So first, let's talk a little bit about the frames that I have on, which are my unboxing that you will see already on the channel. These are my very first blue light blocking frames. I unboxed them. I have all the information on that video. So these are very cute. I really love them. So let's get into this conversation. Let's get into these frames. All right. So the frames that I am talking about are the Fredias. I'm super excited. Here they are in the tortoise, and forgive me, I went back and tried to clean all the frames. I tried to clean them before the recording, but these are the Fredias. They have like the tortoise look here, here around here, and on the front and the side has like that gold accent, which is like a wire. Now, I would say, and I'm gonna put these on, I really like these frames a whole lot because they fit my face very well, and I really love this little piece here. It kind of gives like a little pizzazz to the frame. But every time I wear these frames, I mean every time, I'm always getting a compliment. But for me personally, these are some frames that when I put on, they are comfort for me. And while we're talking about comfort, let's get into the conversation. So I wanted to talk to you guys about loving yourself. Why is it important to love yourself? And this came to me while I was thinking about the idea for this video. And it really hit home for me because I used to be in a space to where I didn't understand or knew how it looked to love myself. I didn't really knew what that meant for me. You know, you hear people say it, you hear people talk about loving themselves, but to actually know that for yourself is a different experience, a different journey. And life takes us on so many different journeys. And as I'm talking, I'm going to exchange the frames out. But life takes us on so many different journeys. And I feel like with those different experiences, that's how we really discover how to love ourselves. Let's look at this colorful frame. I really love it. It's giving me so much like just happy vibes. And that's what I really like about the colorful ones in the Fredias. But anyways, I feel like the different life experiences that I went through in the beginning, it was all just kind of teaching me different stuff about the world, all the while I was still learning different stuff about myself. And as I continued just to live life, continue just to go through things, it was like, you know, you trying. One thing I was big on, a transparent moment, was I did a lot of dieting in my youth. I did a lot of dieting, you know, in my young adult years because I did not truly love me. And I used to have an image of myself in my head, and it was a plus size image of myself, but it was bigger than the image that was in the mirror. And that was a problem because I would see myself bigger than I actually was. So I was always chasing with a diet and trying to lose weight that was not really there, but are not at the vast majority as I was thinking that it was there. And that was my issue. That was my problem. So I was always on a diet. I was always trying something new. You know, if I saw it on TV, I'm like, hey, I'm giving this a try. And I didn't know what it meant to really truly dive into loving me. So what ended up happening was I just continued doing this whole dieting thing. And what I used to really love doing, and I still love doing it now, is taking lots of pictures. And I have like this big bin of pictures. And one day I was going through pictures. And as you know, as your kids get older, you kind of tend to look through things because you're like, oh my goodness, my baby is not a baby anymore. So I began to look through pictures off of the whole thing of thinking like, I want to just go back and see how my baby looked as a baby, you know. So as I'm going through these pictures, I begin to look at myself in these pictures, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was not as big as I thought, right? So purple is my favorite color. I had to pause right here. Gold accent here, beautiful. Oh my goodness, I really, really love these. But anyways, I began to look through the pictures of myself, and I'm like, oh man. And what was crazy was I could remember when or what I took my body through during those times. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I was on this heavy. I was going through this, and you know, thinking that I needed to lose this, and the weight that I'm trying to get at now was the weight that I already was at when I thought I was like balloon size, you know, way bigger. So then that, sitting back and being very personal with myself, being real with myself, you know, I really had hard conversations with myself. I stopped having conversations with everyone else about me, but I had conversations with me about me. What was it that I really wanted? How did I feel in those pictures? Through all these years, what does it feel like? What does it look like to love me? I went years of not loving me and thinking that I was, you know, because it's like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm here. Thank you. I was blessed, grateful. Thank you, God, for waking me up. I love me, but I didn't feel that. So until I started looking at these pictures, and I'm going through these pictures, and I'm just like, oh, wow. I was at a place here where some smiles were not genuine smiles. And it wasn't about where I was at in life as far as like a relationship with anyone else or with anything else, like your job, your family, your husband, your kids, whatever. It was a relationship with me. I wasn't happy with me, and I would put on a smile, but then I still wasn't happy with me. So what ended up happening when the big shift happened, when I start to know that it was okay to talk to myself, and it was okay for me to express myself. Here we go with the black frames. Yes. Classic. If you have to get the Fredias, getting them in the black with the gold is a classic. They are, I'm sorry, I had to pause the story. They are like your everyday frame. You can wear them. You can dress them up, dress them down. I'm telling you, these are amazing. I really love how they look on my face, and I love these frames. But anyways, I had to get to the point to where I had to figure out and start talking to myself and seeing what does it truly mean. So what I started doing was pouring into myself, right? So I started just telling myself, you know, different things and appreciating myself. So it was at a point to where I was not feeling well one day, and I was, oh my goodness, I was so sick. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm talking to myself like, listen, you're okay, you're going to be good. And I was really fighting through how I was feeling, and I was talking to myself, talking to my body, and I was not talking to my body in the sense of being sick. I was talking to my body in the sense of like, I appreciate you so much because you're able to battle this sickness. You're able to battle how you're feeling, and you're healed. You're healing yourself. And for you to have a body that's like this, that can heal, like this body carried you for how many years, girl? You better love it, appreciate it, and be thankful. Because even with being sick, I'm like, yo, I couldn't eat because I felt like, you know, and I'm like, yo, I got enough on me that I don't need to eat. This body has supplied everything that it needs. So I begin to actually do a lot of work within myself. And that journey led to another journey that led to another journey. And it ultimately led me on a spiritual journey. You know, I was always, grew up in religion. I was always religious. I believe in God. But to be on a spiritual journey, something different. This was true identity with self. This led me on something, a whole new path that opened up so many different things. I'm looking like, whoa, you know, and I learned so much, not only about myself, but I learned appreciation in a whole nother way. And that's how I began to love myself. Now, these are the last ones of the Fredia. Here we go. I saved the best for last. In my opinion, I really love the pink. They are very, very cute for the summertime. I really, really enjoy wearing these because in the sun, they kind of just pop a little more. And I like anything with a little color because that color and that pizzazz on your face kind of make everyone else around you smile. So with all of that being said, I got to a point to where I began to love myself and understand me on a different level, to where I knew not only what it meant to love me, but I knew how it felt to love me. So when I began to love me, everyone else around me saw how I loved myself, to the point to where they were giving me what I was giving me. So one thing, like I always like to tell people, is how you treat yourself, we teach people how to treat us. And we do that a lot of times on how we treat ourselves. So if someone sees how you treat you, that's how they know to gauge how they are going to treat you. Now, there's some people that don't think like that, but there's a lot of people that do. So you have to understand what you're feeding yourself and what you're telling yourself. Someone is always watching. If you get some people around you that's doing the same thing, or some things you're like, listen, I don't know why this person keep treating me like this or doing this. Take a step back, take a deep look at yourself and say, wait a minute, how am I treating myself? What am I giving off to make this person think that it's okay to treat me this way? So with all of that being said, I am so excited that you guys stayed with me to the end of this video. I hope that there was something that resonated so deeply within you. I want you to tell me which ones of the Fredias that you like. My favorite would have to be the pink, because I like the color, but I would have to be honest and say my go-to every day of the Fredias are the black frames. And I even did it a step above when I got the black ones, because I knew I would be wearing them so much. I got like all the bells and whistles on the lenses, so that they would be a little easier to clean, and they would have like kind of hold up better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, thank you so much for being a part of my beautiful eye candy family. Until next time, I am your one and your only Lady of Lenses, Lady Simone.